Okay, guys, I just saw Karate Kid Legends. Finally, I know it's been out for a few weeks, but here's my out of the theater reaction. No spoilers. I'm gonna give this movie a positive review, but I gotta be honest with you guys, and the only reason why I'm doing that is because I'm a Karate Kid fan. I'm fanboying out, and I enjoyed this movie because of that. But I gotta be honest, I do see two major problems with this movie. Now, before I get into the negatives, yeah, this is a Karate Kid movie. You're gonna expect to see some of that Karate Kid humor, which was there, and it was great. You would get to see some really awesome fighting, and it was there. And you get to see the underdog story, and you get to see just, it's a standard Karate Kid movie, and it delivers on everything that you would need. But the major problem I have with this movie is that it feels watered down. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean that this movie, it has the natural framework of a Karate Kid movie. Kid moves to a new city, falls in love with some girl. Of course, this girl is dating some bully who happens to be this psychopathic karate killer, and he only knows this kind of karate and is a total dick because of his teacher. The teacher's a dick. You know what I mean? Like, this is standard Karate Kid stuff. And of course, you have this big tournament where the guy fights the bully, but it's not necessarily just to, fight the bad guy, but it is to grow as a person and to fight your inner demons. That's here too. My problem is that this movie feels like it's doing too much because it has like the normal Karate Kid storyline, but then it tries to be different. And of course, you have the girlfriend's father own a pizza joint, but then of course, like the head of the dojo's like almost working like this mafia boss where he's trying to get some money out of him, and it's like you're trying to collect, and of course they're gonna beat him up. So then of course the main kid has to teach the dad karate, or kung fu in this case. So it's like, okay, that's a bit different, but then you kind of lose that storyline, and we don't necessarily get to know our villains too well. And again, I think the casting of this movie is brilliant, but I feel like we don't get to really hate the villains enough because we're too busy doing all these other storylines. And then, of course, you see it in the poster, Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are back. They feel shoehorned in. They feel like they're here because it's a Karate Kid movie and it's just there for nostalgia purposes. So again, it just feels like it's watered down. It's like pick a lane and stick in it. But instead it's trying to do too much. And I feel like this movie could have been brilliant. But again, it just feels like a nostalgia-filled hodgepodge of a mess. My second problem with the movie is the editing. Now, I've noticed this in a couple movies already, but I think that the TikTok generation is starting to influence how Hollywood edits their movies. Some of the editing choices in this movie, especially with like the text on screen and all these like flashy effects, especially between scenes, I can definitely tell that this is from like the YouTube Shorts, TikTok editing type of world. Gotta keep it going to get the, engagement, get the algorithm up, right? It's headache inducing, but overall, I'd recommend the movie only to Karate Kid fans.